Warm welcome to you. You're tuned into our Eye on Africa programme. I'm Rochelle Ferguson-Biahi. These are the top stories that we have for you this evening. Fighting escalates in Sudan's western Darfur, where the UN has warned of soaring rights violations. We'll bring you all the details from the conflict zone. The head of Madagascar's lower house of parliament calls next week's presidential elections to be suspended following weeks of opposition rallies. Plus, it's Friday evening and we're offering you some music with Pedro Koyasi. He hails from Mali and he's here to talk to us about his love for music that goes way back. All that and plenty more in tonight's programme. But first, the UN has warned of soaring rights violations in Sudan's western Darfur, where fighting between the army and paramilitaries is escalating. The UN Refugee Agency saying 800 people have been killed by armed groups in Ardamate, that's West Darfur. A camp for displaced people is situated. And more than 10,000 people have been killed in the Sudan conflict, which has also displaced some 4.8 million people within the country. France 24's Bastien Renouy is our regional correspondent. He has more details for us.
Hundreds of people have been killed in El Geneina during the past week. It's very difficult to know exactly what happened in the capital of West Darfur because journalists are not allowed in Sudan at the moment. But according to survivors, rapid support forces took over a Sudanese military base in Ardamata, which is a neighborhood very well known for hosting thousands of internally displaced people belonging to the Masalit community. As soon as they took over the military base, they killed civilians. I've seen videos of young men sitting on the ground, beaten by the rapid support forces. I've seen pictures of dozens of dead bodies in the streets. And I've seen a video of rapid support forces members walking in Ardamata military hospital, insulting injured people and walking among dead bodies. So why are they targeting the Masalit community? Well, since the beginning of the Darfur war in 2003, Arab militias, including the rapid support forces, have been targeting African ethnic tribes, including the Masalit community. As soon as fighting broke last week, thousands of people escaped in neighboring Sudan, but many are still trapped near El Geneina. So what's going to happen next? It's very difficult to say at the moment because it seems that the rapid support forces have a momentum in Darfur. It seems that they are now in control of most of the southeastern part of the country. And at the same time, the Sudanese military is in full control of the northern and eastern part of Sudan, while the fighting continue in Khartoum, the capital city of Sudan, between the Sudanese military and the rapid support forces.
Well, that ongoing conflict in Sudan has affected the country's ability to produce and export meat, one of its flagship industries, essentially. Now, as regional shortages boom, neighbouring Chad's hoping to step in. The country has already begun to invest heavily in meat processing. Lauren Bursticker brings you up to date.
Working to the steady rhythm of carving knives, white-aproned staff meticulously butcher, process and package chunks of red meat. Located in southern Chad, this state-of-the-art facility lies at the heart of a government plan to turn the cattle trading nation into a meat exporting powerhouse.
They used to slaughter animal on the street. This is very unhygienic and very dangerous to their health also. Now we have set up a proper unit where we can put every food safety norms.
As meat importers shift away from war-torn Sudan, Chad is hoping to claim a slice of the lucrative market. In June, the country began exporting packaged meat to Gabon, Egypt, and Nigeria with refrigerated trucks. And with over 100 million heads of cattle, it's confident in its ability to meet growing demand.
There are enough cattle in Chad. You can find all the cattle you want in the same day.
The livestock sector is already a cornerstone of Chad's economy, contributing around 30% of GDP. And while the country seeks to modernize its flagship industry, it's so far refused to introduce intensive breeding.
We are currently using a pastoralist breeding method. We do not want to abandon this traditional way of breeding cattle in Chad.
Banking on meat in order to reshape Chad's economic landscape and maybe even compete with beef heavyweights like India and Brazil.
Well, let's get you some other news on the continent. The head of Madagascar's lower house of parliament has called for next week's presidential elections to be suspended. This following weeks of opposition rallies. Speaking in Antananarivo, Christine Razanamahasoa said that the situation in the country doesn't allow for a free and credible election currently. Those elections, of course, set to be held on the 16th. Madagascar's laws do not provide for the suspension of a vote, and any such decision would require government approval. Have a listen.
We will move forward in stages to achieve objectives. In particular, the achievement of a fair presidential election accepted by all.
Well, look, it's Friday. It's been a very long week indeed. How about some music for you? Tonight's guest is the singer and Camalingui player, Pedro Kouyaté. Pedro, a warm welcome to you. It's great to have you with us here in the studio. You hail from Mali. You've been a musician and singer for years now. Talk to us about how you got involved in the music scene.
Hi. I'm very glad to be here and to talk about my music, but my person is not important. My culture is important. First of all, if you are griot, I'm griot. My name is Kouyaté. You are born in family Kouyaté. You have a great job. Your job is to sing, to heal people, and to help people.
So it's part of your DNA somewhere?
Yes, in my skin, in my blood. No career, no money. No, travel check. Your travel check is your culture and your everyday work. You play your instrument and you listen people.
So it was almost inevitable that you would follow this line, playing the Camalingui.
Yeah.
Talk to us about one of the idols that you had in your life. I mean, we spoke earlier, perhaps your uncle was somebody who inspired you to go forward with this?
In Africa, we are family, big family. Uncle, aunt, father, mother. My uncle was my first teacher. He's in life. He's in life. When I was teenager, he was my mirror. He was my light because he taught me and he teach me everything. To listen before to speak and to listen carefully people and to be able to help people, help yourself before.
So a lot of wise knowledge imparted to you from your uncle, from your community. You've travelled the world. You've been to many countries.
Of course.
Talk to us about who you've collaborated with, because the list is long.
Yes, but if you're Kouyaté, you don't tell that to people because it's a job. First of all, you talk about people, never about yourself. But now, my job is to do music and to take my plan to go to Japan, to go to Australia, because people need, my voice is very special. My head is very special. People need that, but there are need to Malian culture, Malian music. I was born in Mali. Mali is a big land of culture, of music, of storytelling. That's why everybody call me, Big Daddy Wilson. He was born in the United States, but he's living in Germany. Manu Katché is a famous player of drums, because in my music they can throw blues, jazz, and trance.
Pedro, this is a culture it's very clear that you want to introduce the world to. Just in terms of what you do and the kind of music, we'd love to hear some of what you do. Please take it away.
No.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. My music is a human being music only. Thank you so much. I will play, Moi fomo bauye Bemalo, Bamanala, Imaye, Imaye, Nebe Nakambolo, Imaye, Johnny Beni Nakantewa. Bajala Mali.
Very, very much indeed. You spoke about this humanist approach, and when I spoke to you earlier, just before the show, you spoke about your music translating to love ultimately. There's a clear message that you want to send with the music that you do.
Yeah, and you know, our culture is our food, our crafts, you know, and storytelling, you know. Griot is a storyteller, maestro. If you forget your story, if you forget your culture, you go to another land, you will be find another culture. You will go to restaurant. The food of this restaurant is a culture. Never forget your culture.
So the roots are incredibly important for a musician as yourself. Pedro, there's so much more we want to ask you. The time has run out, though. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show today.
Gratitude.
Pedro Kouyaté, and also for you at home, we hope that this beautiful music has taken you calmly, peacefully into your weekend. Thank you for watching our Eye on Africa programme. Thank you.